Retired Superintendent of Police and former Executive Secretary to the IGP, Peter Tobu, says the team leadership spirit and affability of the newly appointed acting IGP, Dr. George Dampare, will enable him excel as a substantive IGP. Mr. Tobu believes with respect to boosting the morale of the police force and inspiring personnel to upgrade themselves professionally, Dr. Dampare's appointment resonates with expectations of the officers he will be working with. President Akufo-Addo issued a statement yesterday announcing the appointment of COP Dampare as acting IGP. He is to take over from James Opon-Bueno, who begins his terminal leave on August 1. Peter Tobu, a retired senior police officer, is one of the officers who worked with him closely.
This is not about being a fine gentleman. If you can explore the advantages associated to your fineness, your gentility, to inspire the system, to motivate and let the morale be high, that is where you begin to perform. But if it's just all about being a fine gentleman, it doesn't work like that in security. Sometimes you just have to be rough. Sometimes you have to be tough. It depends upon who you are, reading and understanding the circumstances surrounding the security situation in the country. As we speak today, we are looking for an IGP who will come and say, yes, I understand that violent crime has become a challenge. I understand that crowd control and management has become a challenge. I understand that military role in Ghana security is becoming a challenge. I do also understand that the morale of the Ghana Police Service has dropped to a level unacceptable. So if you understand all these things, what can you do to rectify? What can you do to motivate the men and women in uniform? But for Dr. Dampare, the young constable, the young corporal, the young sergeant, the young inspector sees themselves in him because he's been a constable before. He moved from constable to the top and he's become the acting IGP. So the constable see him as their colleague, the sergeant see him as their colleague, the inspector see him as one of them. Also, people who believe that education is important to bring policing to another level because policing has become a science now. People who believe that they want to do their masters, they want to do a PhD, they want to do a first degree, they want to do some professional courses to enhance their capacity. They see themselves in Dr. Dampare because he's an academician and also he's a professional police officer. So if you blend the two, all I always say is that he should be able to assemble a team of people who understand his vision and support him to achieve it. It's all about teamwork. You can be the best person in the police service. If you're appointed by the president as an IGP and you can't assemble the best team, you are bound to fail. The best team working to support the best IGP, Ghana will be a very peaceful place.
Can he assemble the best team to do this job?
If you and I talking to the people listening to us now, if the president who appointed him, if the politicians who are in the system will say, we know your capability and we know that you know the people who you can work with and you know all the commissioners who are with you, you know all the deputy commissioners, their capacities and capabilities, you know all the assistant commissioners, please have a free hand, put your team together and let's give you 6 months to see what you can do. If we are able to give him that free hand to assemble his team, I don't have any doubt that he will put square pegs in square holes, round pegs in round holes, and the security of this country, very particularly the internal security, will turn for the good.
There are those who also say that because a person is appointed in an acting capacity, they don't have the room to do their job as they would have if they were appointed substantive, in a more substantive, you know, with all the windows shut. With your experience, as you work very closely with a former IGP, is there a difference if you're acting or if you have the title totally to yourself?
Thank you very much. I think one of the things that I've never liked and I will never like is an acting position. Acting position is always suicidal because you don't have the muzzle. You are acting, and in fact, there is history to guide us. Madam Mills Robertson was an acting IGP. She was finally now confirmed, and somebody else was appointed. So the fact that you are acting, you don't have the muzzle to do what you want to do. But I think that is just procedure. But he acts pending the phasing out of the current IGP, Mr. James Opon-Bueno. After that, we expect the president to confirm him immediately, because confirming him will give him the muzzle to be able to stand as Inspector General of Police. Because police is command and control, and it's a unitary command. The command rests with the Inspector General of Police. He should have the power, he should have the authority. And that authority doesn't come so much with an acting position. So let's trust the president that in this phasing out period, when Mr. James Opon-Bueno faces out of office, Dr. Dampare will be confirmed so that he will have what it takes to assemble his team and put them to work. And within a period of time, we'll be able to see what the security of Ghana looks like. Because everybody is talking about the security challenges. And without security, we can't have development. Let's all give him the maximum support.
Superintendent Peter Tobo there. Security expert Professor Christie Enin believes COP Dampare is capable of bringing the much-desired transformation with the service.
It's right for the time. He's prepared. He's thought through what he will do as an IG. He's trained people at multiple levels. He's held different appointments. And he's got the guts to deal with anyone who crosses the line. That is what I like about him. For him, this is not a cushy job where he's going to be polite and friendly to people because they gave him a job. I think those who gave him this job know that the service is rotten to the core and that they want an IGP who, as a commissioner of police on the Spintex Road, when there's traffic, when people misuse their sirens, he pulled them over and told them to get back into the queue. Okay, he did these things when it could have risked the possibility of his promotion. So this is an officer who knows that the institutional ethos and the culture of the police service goes against the very grain of his upbringing, of his academic training, and the vision that he has for the service, and has throughout his professional career worked hard to ensure that he could marry a sense of professionalism with a duty of care, but more importantly also with taking the decisions, the operational decisions when necessary, but also being on the front line with his men and women, so that he doesn't take those decisions, sits in the office or goes to sleep, and then expects to receive a report the next morning. He has a hands-on approach to doing policing, and I'm looking forward to our partnership and our collaboration. And I think he has broad shoulders enough to accept the criticisms that certainly will come from Adam and I.
Well, some Ghanaians have been sharing their expectations on the appointment of COP George Dampare as the acting police boss.
We will be expecting a lot from the IGP, because looking at the country, security is very important. To live freely, to live happily, all depends on the security. So we would like the IGP to improve enforcement so that everybody, the citizens will be free, live comfortably. Because walking on the road, we will be afraid maybe somebody can come to you and attack you. That's not a freedom. So as our code of the arm says, freedom and justice, we need that thing to happen in the country so that we can live freely. Even if somebody will come here and invest in the country, there must be a serious security. They can be happy, they can be proud, they can be bold in whatever they are doing.
What I'm expecting from the IGP is that he has to make sure the policemen are working according to the law. And also, they must also ensure that they are not favoritism. Okay, make sure they protect the citizens, and also do not take money from drivers and also motor riders and stuff. They must make sure if they are offended, they let them face the law. Yes, that's what I'm expecting from the IGP.
Pertaining the new IGP elect, I believe is able and is capable. So I think he should try and fix all the mistakes that the predecessor did. Yeah, I think that's what I'm expecting. In terms of fixing the security system, yeah, the security system. Now, when you look at what is going on in the country, you see that the security system is totally gone. Yeah, so he should try and fix it. That's what I'm expecting him to do.
The IGP will get it very, very difficult this time, because this time the boys are very, very angry, and they are going to face him boot for boot. So I think he should strategize very, very well before coming out with strategies to deal with them.